Hey everyone, welcome back to another Shinobi Striker video. Season 9 has officially been announced and it's been confirmed that we'll be getting 4 new characters, all centered around the villain theme. So, what better time than now to talk about who I think is the most likely to join the roster. Since we're getting 4 characters, I'll be making one prediction for each class. There are still some big names the community's been asking for, so let's not waste any time and jump right into it. Alright, let's kick things off with the class that's been in desperate need of a new DLC master for nearly 2 years now, the heal types. And for this one, I'm going with a new version of an existing character. Yeah, I know, people are getting a little tired of reused characters, but I think this one makes a lot of sense. And honestly, the community has been asking for him for quite a while. I'm of course talking about Sage Mode Kabuto, who I think is going to be the heal type for Season 9. He fits the villain theme perfectly, obviously, but more importantly, there aren't that many villains that can naturally fit the heal class. And let's be real, there's no way Bandai skips the healers again. It's already kind of ridiculous how long it's been, so if they don't include a heal character this season, I'll be genuinely shocked. Or maybe just disappointed. Probably both. As for his jutsu, I think he has to come with at least one ability focused on healing or buffing your allies. It's been a while since we've gotten that kind of supportive jutsu, and Kabuto, despite being mostly offensive in the anime, was still a medical ninja at heart. Maybe he could have an AoE support jutsu, kind of like Sarada's, but with more of a buffing twist. Something that increases movement speed and attack power for allies that pass through it. Maybe even flip the script and have it debuff enemies who enter the zone, kind of like a reverse version of reanimated Minato's jutsu. For his second move, I think the obvious pick is Sage Art Wide Rage technique, the one where he releases a blinding light and a deafening sound using a creepy snake dragon thing. In the anime, it disorients his opponents by overwhelming their senses. That could translate into a jutsu that briefly blinds and stuns enemies, maybe even reduces their defense or disorients their controls for a second. It would be a super unique addition and fit perfectly into his stage-powered Serpentine kit. Now, for the ultimate, I've got 2 directions I can see them going in. Option 1 is a transformation style ultimate, like in the Storm games, where Kabuto sprouts that creepy half body from his stomach and channels the powers from the Sound 4. Imagine pulling off Jirobo's chakra absorption or Taiuya's Genjutsu mid-transformation. Honestly, that would be sick, and it gives a nostalgic shout out to some underused villains. Option 2 is more creative. What if Kabuto summons a few Edo Tensei reanimations like Deidara, Zabuta, or Itachi who fight as temporary NPC allies? It would tie directly into his role in the 4th Great Ninja War and be something we haven't seen yet in the game. Either of those ultimate styles would make sense, and honestly, I'd be happy with either. Next up is my prediction for the defense class. Now I'll be honest, this one was a bit tricky. There aren't a ton of obvious villain picks left for the role that haven't already been added into the game. I thought about maybe another version of Obito or Madara, but that just feels kind of uninspired. So instead, I'm going with a character that fans have been asking for years. One of the last few remaining Akatsuki members, Kakuzu. Now, I'll admit, Kakuzu isn't exactly the most defensive character in the traditional sense. But I think he'd be a great way to give the defense class a bit more offensive power, especially from mid and long range. Plus, his unique abilities give plenty of room for creative jutsu design. For his first jutsu, I'd go with Earth Release Earth Spear, the move where he hardens his body to make his skin as tough as diamond. In Shinobi Striker, this could work as a strong buff type ability, giving you increased defense, super armor, and maybe even a small attack boost while it's active. It might not be the flashiest jutsu out there, but it would definitely be super practical. Perfect for tanking through a fight or holding down a point in base battle. Now, for his second jutsu, I think they've gotta use his elemental masks. One idea would be to have a combination attack using fire and wind masks, creating something like a flaming wind vortex that travels forward or spreads across an area. Or maybe something with a lighting mask, launching a fast projectile that shocks and stuns enemies. Whatever the combo they go with, the key here is giving the defense class more long-range utility, which it desperately needs. And Kakuzu is the perfect character to deliver that. As for his ultimate, I have a bit of a wild idea, but hear me out. One of the defining traits of Kakuzu is that he has multiple hearts, meaning you basically have to kill him 5 times to actually put him down. So what if this ultimate took that concept literally? Imagine an ability that gives you an extra life. If you get KO'd after activating it, instead of dying, you instantly revive at full health. You could maybe even make it stackable. Like if you survive long enough and use the ultimate again, you could hold up 2 extra lives. Obviously you need to tweak it for balance so it's not completely broken, but the idea of a revive based ultimate for defense types could be super unique. And let's be honest, in combat battle that would be ridiculously useful, especially in those tight matches where a single death can swing the entire game. Alright, for the range class prediction, I'm going with what is probably the most obvious and most long overdue pick, Moashiki Otsutsuki. Let's be honest, this is a character that should have been added into the game ages ago. Yeah, we technically have Borushiki in the game, but it's just not the same. The original Moashiki has a totally different vibe, and fans have been asking for him for years now. His first jutsu pretty much has to be something based on chakra absorption. It's his signature move and one of the defining things about his fighting style. I imagine it could work similarly to Kawaki's strange states jutsu, but instead of charging your secret technique gauge, it would let you absorb an incoming jutsu and fire it back, maybe even with boosted power. That said, I know this would be kind of tricky to implement on the dev side. They'd have to handle how absorption works across all classes and decide which jutsu could even be reflected. A more balanced approach might be to have it absorb anything and then launch a fixed counterattack, kind of like a charged chakra blast. Not as flashy, but still a solid mechanic and in line with Momoshiki's fights. For his second jutsu, I'd keep it simple but impactful. Give him that giant chakra bomb style projectile we see him use when he first appears. It's basically his version of a tailed beast bomb. You could have it travel forward slowly and explode on contact with a wide splash radius, or have it rain down like a meteor. Either way, it'd make for a satisfying long range tool and help with area control in teamfights. As for his ultimate, I think the only real answer here is his transformation. The moment where he fuses with Kinshiki and becomes his godlike final form. This could work as a buff type ultimate, giving him boost in attack power, speed, and maybe even a damage reduction effect for a short period of time. But I'd take it a step further. I'd give him a secondary activation where he slams the ground with that massive fire golem hand. Just like in the anime when he fights Naruto and Sasuke. Honestly, Moashiki feels like the easiest choice here. He's got the name recognition, the moveset potential, and the visual flair to be a real standout. I'd be genuinely shocked if he wasn't included in this season. It just makes too much sense. And for our final pick, I'm going with Kimaru as the attack type. I mean, seriously, the game's been out for over 7 years and we still don't have a single member of the Sound 4 in the roster? That's honestly criminal. If any of them were to make it in though, it's gotta be Kimaru, or I guess technically he is part of the Sound 5, but whatever. Depending on how you look at it, you could possibly swap Kimaru and Kakuzu between defense and attack. Both of them could fit either class. But this setup makes the most sense to me. Kimaru is fast, aggressive, and brutally precise. He just feels like an attacker. For his first jutsu, I'd go with a Bone Sword combo, kind of like what he has in the Storm series. Picture something similar to Killer Bee's Sword Stand jutsu in Shinobi Striker. But instead of waiting for an enemy to approach you, you lunge forward, and if you land a hit, it would trigger a fluid combo ending in a strong knockback finisher. It would be a satisfying rushdown move that fits his close range style perfectly. His second jutsu could be Dance of the Seedling Fern, easily one of his most iconic techniques where he summons an entire forest of bone spikes from underground. It would make for a great AoE ground-based jutsu. Similar to Sasori's Iron Sandfield, but with more of a vertical coverage and maybe even a slow or a bleed effect to punish enemies who get caught in it. Visually, it would look incredible, and it would give the attack class a lot of area control needed for capturing objectives or in team fights. As for its ultimate, yeah, I'm gonna go with another transformation style ult. I know we just got Curse Mark Sasuke not too long ago, but let's be real, if we can have 2 Karma Awakenings, we can definitely have Kimaru's Curse Mark transformation too. You'd enter his second state, complete with the bony protrusions and darker skin, and as a second activation you could target enemies with that massive bone spear for an instant kill attack. Overall, Kimaru makes a lot of sense as a villain pick for the attack slot. He's stylish, underrepresented, and would add a cool, fresh playstyle to the class. Honestly, if they finally added him after all these years, that would be pretty neat. And that's all the characters I think we might be getting in Season 9 of Shinobi Striker. Let me know in the comments whether or not you agree with my picks and who you would personally like to see be added into the game. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!